My name is Audrey June, and today we're going to look at our shadow self. A lot of the time in spirituality, there is a false dichotomy presented. There is a duality that is not natural to our whole integrated self. Good, bad, good, evil, dark, light. These things don't exist in isolation. We are whole. We need to be able to balance each aspect of ourselves, because we are not black or white, but instead we are a steady shade of gray. We're everything together. So the question I wanted to ask today, and the question I've been thinking about a lot, is how do we look into our shadows? What is the lesson from the shadow that the collective needs to know? How do we look in the mirror? Because only when we look at the shadows and we integrate the shadows and we harness the shadows can we truly give our light to the world. So the question I'm asking, and the question that you should ask yourself when you think about it, when you meditate, is what is my darkest shadow? What do I need to integrate overall? So today I'm going to work with the Aboriginal Goddess Chakra deck. These are some of the oldest cards. I've had these for a long time. And I'm asking Spirit, what shadow do we need to look at? So what is the shadow? Wow, we have 3 cards that pulled out, right? 3, always the Trinity, always reminds me of the maiden crone. Father, mother, child, right? So we have the red chakra fairy, which is in our root chakra. So if we look at this card, right, you see she is down there, right? She is cradling herself. She is looking down and she is holding herself like a child, right? So to me, when I see this, and you see the crescent moon right in front of her, right? We know that the moon always represents the femininity within self because the moon reflects the sun. It is an internalization of our own self, right? So when I see this card, I see the inner child. I see the beginning. I see a need to go back down into our foundation and rectify the false assumptions, the false treatments, the mistreatment, the abuse. I see us needing to go back into our timeline and heal our inner child. Really look at her, look at him, and to hold him. So let me look into the book and see if there's anything that I missed. Right? So she is the need to step into the limelight. Says it's time to stop hiding and find your place on the stage. You want your opinions to be heard, but you're too fearful to see what they're going to say. So really, if you look down into this, the shadow here is us quelling our own inner voice and not expressing ourselves. There's something in your past, there's something in all of our past that made it so we couldn't speak up. And so in order for us to really move forward, you need to go deep into yourself and find those stories, find those moments, find those memories. And remember that you need to speak. And now we have the purple chakra fairy, right? Purple is your third eye. It's your sixth chakra. And here, it's interesting that they're both fairies. But I see her, and she's looking to the side. And it's like she has serenity here. But there's still something that's holding her back. So let's look into the book. So she symbolizes the connection to our intuition and our unconscious self, which is linked to the universal wisdom. She's on a constant journey to seek the truth and better understand the wisdom of the world and the wisdom of the sacred ancients which have passed before her. This wisdom gives her the ability to understand things from a higher perspective. She trusts herself to know that the universe is not just what surrounds her here in this world, but extends to other realms and other wisdoms. The purple fairy's ability to see beyond this world into others provides her with a keen sense of self-responsibility to follow her soul's path, to fearlessly trust her intuition and psychic abilities, and know she has the guidance and knowledge of timeless wisdom shared by those who reside in the universal spirit. So the way that I see this card is our connection to our other selves, right? We're multidimensional beings. Our pieces of soul don't just incarnate in one form. So the shadow here is the forgetting. It's the amnesia that we have coming into this body in this human world. So how do we understand who we really are in all the aspects of ourselves? The third eye, the intuition, that's the synchronicities, that's the deja vu, that's when we have that gut feeling and we don't listen. Right? So you need to trust your gut. And then we have the Lady of the Lake, right? It's funny because I tried to do this reading before and I got all these cards again. So again, she's in our third chakra. The Lady of the Lake was left, right? She gave everything. She's the sacrificial lamb. She gave everything to King Arthur, and then he left, right? So it's almost like the shadow is, what is it within yourself that you're neglecting? What part of your higher self have you left behind and that you need to reclaim? How has this external world created in you a scared little girl at your foundation, a scared little boy at your foundation? How do you move beyond it? Right? So let's see. What needs to be seen? What needs to be said? So she made an agreement with Arthur when he was just a young man that if he would support the cause of Avalon, she would allow him to take Excalibur from the stone and rule the kingdom of Britain, to which he agreed. However, as years passed and through the insistence of his Christian wife, Guinevere, he began to rule his kingdom as a Christian king. He forgot the old ways. You forgot your old ways. You forgot your ancient wisdom. That's part of the shadow. Return back to the earth. Return back to who you were, who you really are. Go deep inside yourself to find it. So it's important to value your beliefs. They're what guided you in your life's journey. So hold on to who you really are. Don't switch sides. Go deep within yourself. Don't rush. Take responsibility. There's a stillness today. I feel it in the air. I feel it in the wind. There's a conflicted feeling. I'm going to pull from my other deck. How is it how do we integrate the third eye with our root? Again, it comes back to the external and the internal. What is the message from Spirit? What to leave us with for today? What is the knowledge? What is the message? What do we need to know? What else is necessary for us to know for today? For self. The drum. Dream and journey. Today is a day of stillness, going back into self. This card symbolizes the shaman within. One of the biggest things that we do in this world, that we've been conditioned to do, is to look outside of ourselves for the answers. The shaman reminds us, the drum reminds us, the steady beat of our own hearts, the dance, the ecstasy, the dream world. There are no answers outside of ourselves. The only answers worth having are within. So if you think about it, what do you have to lose? Going into the shadows is going into the spirit world, is reclaiming the power that you have lost in the process of your life. So what is it within you? What moment, what memory instilled in you fear? What are you afraid of? And how can you stop being afraid? How can you replace that fear with love? Today is a day of stillness. Today is a day of silence. Take the time to really look at yourself today, to go into the mirror, to ask yourself, what is holding me back? What are my shadows? And feel your emotions. Let it out, purge, cry, write, express. Express what this little girl was always afraid to express. And then this is the grown woman, right? And what's holding her back? The same thing, broken promises. Broken promises to yourself. How have you let yourself down? How does our external world reflect our internal world? How do we integrate it? Spirit, is there anything else that you need to tell us today? Is there any other aspect that we need to look at before we leave? No, it's not these ones. I know I'm a little flustered today, but it's natural, it's normal. So I'm gonna pull from my last deck. I don't have the book for this, so this is gonna be completely on the fly, whatever comes out. So what totem do we need to look at? What is our instincts? The rabbit. Rabbit is fear. Rabbit is survival. The rabbit is abundance. A rabbit is abundant, but a rabbit is also prey. So if we look at the rabbit, what is the rabbit trying to tell us? The rabbit is trying to tell us to move beyond our survival fears. The rabbit is trying to tell us that we are abundance, we are beautiful, we are our own good luck, we are our own Jupiter. But we have to move past our shadow self to get there. Sit with yourself today. sitting